So today's email comes in from Linda. She writes, in February of this year, I was on the show with you. When I spoke to you, I was dancing around, quitting a job I hated, which was graphic design. She's a full-time graphic designer. And I was just wanting to freelance as a photographer, which I do on the side. I was even willing to take less money than a minimum wage paying job because I was so miserable. Well, you told me until I was financially stable to stay at the job and keep freelancing and build my base of clients. As much as I hated it, that's what I did. On March the 1st, every one of us who were freelancers, every one of us who were graphic design contractors were terminated due to budgets. I wouldn't have gotten unemployment benefits or the severance package if I had quit. And because I stayed on the job, I made some friends, and one friend gave me a job lead where her husband works. I interviewed and got the job. Now, I'm a full-time employee with benefits and making a lot more money. Oh, and by the way, an old friend just called me out of the blue and said she needed help with some graphic design projects. So while I'm not doing a lot of photography, I am loving the extra money and the extra side hustle money. Thanks for the advice. So I read that email because that one doesn't necessarily have the dream job ending yet. She's not there. She's still at some point going to now have to stick her toes back into the side hustle pool, if you will, and continue to take photographs and build up her clientele so that she can eventually step into that full time. However, she now appreciates that full-time job that she said she hated. And you can just hear the gratitude in her voice. Linda is in a full-time graphic design job. While it may not be her dream job, she is good at it. And she's making a lot more money. And now she's even taking side hustle work for graphic design. So she's using talent to get herself ahead financially. All that is a part of this process. I don't want to romanticize this process. I don't believe I do, and I don't think I ever will. But this email from Linda should be just as encouraging as someone who says, hey, I stepped into it. Here's why. She's in the process, and this thing takes time. I am selling crockpots on this show. I am not selling microwaves because that's the process. There will be some microwave stories. There may be parts of your story that does kind of take off like a microwave. But on the whole, that will never be the case. And so I want you to hear somebody getting in financial shape so that she can eventually fund the dream. So don't for a minute look down your nose at a solid job, a good paying job that may not be the job. It's not your destination, but it is your station. Let me say that again. Some of you are in jobs that may not be your destination, but they are your current station. And it is that current job, that current income, that is the staging ground for the future. Grab a hold of that. It is rare that someone can just jump off a cliff and land in a nice pool of water that's not chilly, the current's not too rough, and just leaves you where you're supposed to be. This just doesn't happen very often. And embracing that reality is a good first step towards having a perspective that will allow you to stay on course for the long haul. I'm going to get back to this Crockpot thing. I can't get off of it, Joe. I love Crockpot meals. Do you know why? They taste better. They are more pleasant to eat. The meat is tender. It's more tender. Listen, I have gotten into this Kamado Joe, this grill I've got, this unbelievable Joe scene. It's just this, it's a competitor to the green egg. It's better than the green egg. I'm just going to tell you that right now. But the slow cook, anybody who knows anything about cooking, and believe me, Joe Hankin knows about cooking. The slow cook. That's when the meat is the most tender. That's when all of the flavor, the spices, the juices, the smoke, the hickory chips, whatever you're throwing in there, the slow cook, the slow bake, the crock pot delivers the best meal. Now, you just think about that. You just throw something in the microwave and you eat that compared to something that's been cooking for 8 hours. It's not even close. Somebody turned over on Sirius XM and thought, well, we're listening to a cooking show. We thought this was a career show. Oh, no. You're on the right channel. Your career, a long-lasting career, a career that you savor, just like that food, is going to do best when it is cooking over the long haul. It is a slow cook. Don't you forget that. Today, because some of you are going, I'm dying here. Can't we just throw me in a microwave here? Can we just hit the 1 minute high cook? I know. I get it. But that's not going to work that way. And if you keep looking for the microwave solution, you're going to live a life of frustration. I can just tell you that right now.